Listen, man, welcome to the Value Podcast, where valuable people attract people of value. I always try to, I'm just gonna let you. I'm always trying to introduce my guests, but I'm not gonna do it, man. I'm gonna let you do it, man.
Okay.
There's a glow on you, bro.
Ooh, they got a glow on your
Real talk, man. Real talk. When I just looked at you, man, there's a glow on you, man. You know, I don't be trying to waste words, man, but there's a glow on you, bro. And I think really, this is a divine moment what we about to talk about, man.
Yeah.
So just let them know who you are, Jay. You already know what it is, man.
Jeremy Anderson on Instagram @ Jeremy Anderson. Husband, father, son, uncle, brother, friend, servant to the people. Wrote a bunch of books, own a few companies. I promise you this though, I once was lost, but now I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? At one point I was blind, but now I see. And you about to hear what God has done for me. Let's go.
Listen, we talking about a chapter out of my book called Love the Hell Out of Them.
The hell out of them.
We talked about this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe it bears reiterating right out the gate, because I know people hear that word hell and they automatically like, okay, where they going with this? You know what I mean? Is this some religious thing? You know what I mean? But what does that word hell mean to you?
To me, death. When I think of heaven, like even as heaven here on earth, abundance, wealth, love, peace, joy. You know what I'm saying? When I think of hell, I think of negativity. I think of darkness. I think of depression. You know what I'm saying? I think of evil. So when I hear love the hell out of them, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna love the depression out of you. I'm gonna love the evil out of you. I'm gonna love the frustration out of you. I'm gonna love the discouragement out of you. I'm gonna love that dark out of you. I'm gonna love that out of you. Yeah, that's what I think about at least.
Now I was talking about the love part last time when I was describing the different types of love, from the eros, the storge, the phileo, the agape. That eros being like that erotic love, you know what I mean? That love like, oh man, she bad. I wanted that sexual type of love. Then that storge being like just like that family love, like the love I have for my cousin or my auntie. You know what I mean? Then the phileo love is like that brotherly love, like the love I have for you. And all of those loves are great, but those loves are sometimes finicky. And just, you know, if it benefits me, but like that agape love surpasses all of these love, that God type of love. So we painted this picture of hell. So when I say love, what does love look like to you? And if you could paint a picture of that, what would that picture look like?
Acceptance, forgiveness, joy, all the things I feel God gave us when He came. He gave us love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, long suffering, the fruits of the Spirit. So when I think of love, I think of that. I think of unwavering, right? I think of unconditional. I think of in spite of. You know what I'm saying? Like in spite of, yeah. Because that's where you go from like to love. You can like someone when they do you wrong. Okay, I don't like you no more.
Yeah.
But it's like when I love you, like I gotta love you in spite of.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a difference. There's a girth to it. There's a weight to it.
In a world that we're living in right now, though, Jay, where it's like full of so much hatred, so much anger. Like, do you find it hard for you to love humanity?
So I have to guard myself because a lot of the stuff that we see out here in the world, a lot of stuff on social media is traumatic. So when I see a lot of these posts, I keep it moving because it does something to me. You know, so I was speaking one time at Andrews University. This is big time seminary in Michigan. And I told the people, I said, yo, you gotta really, I talked about like the importance of guarding your heart, really making sure you check your spirit. And I told them, like, don't let the behavior of other people change your heart. And sometimes when we feel, especially as people of color, when we go through oppression, when we go through segregation, racism, discrimination, it can start to corrode something inside of us. So we have to be intentional to love in spite of. We have to be intentional to fight through it. We have to be intentional to guard our hearts, our feelings, our thoughts, our emotions. So when I hear that, I'm constantly thinking about, okay, what do I got to do? Like, let me make sure that the behavior of other people don't change my heart, because then I can start looking a certain way at a particular group of people, but I know that ain't God.
Yeah,
that's that flesh.
Yeah.
So I have to be intentional to say, okay, let me not have what 5 or 10% of this group did have me feel this way about a whole body of people. And so I'm weird, man. I'm constantly, I ain't really fight nobody out here, the enemy.
Yeah.
The inner me, my thoughts, my mind, my perspective. And so God has me constantly working on that so I can be the best I can be.
Have you ever struggled with it? Like,
absolutely.
Because there's times like I'm in the marketplace, you know what I mean? I'm dealing with humanity and I'm dealing with people, and I know the love of God, but it's like sometimes I don't feel like Jamel don't feel like loving.
All right.
I'm like, bro, nah, you about to get the whirlwind today.
So let me share a story.
I do draw myself back, but there's times where I'm being, because there's people like, there's times I'm like, yo, I'm about to let you have my whole mind right now.
Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, so I'm gonna share a story with you, bro. It's gonna blow your mind, right? So I'll never forget, this is probably my first year in ministry. The first time I started speaking in schools and churches, I got invited to be like a workshop facilitator at this big conference in Florida.
Okay.
So it was like 8,000 people came in from all over Florida, a whole bunch of big time pastors. And I was going to be doing like this youth workshop, on how they can start ministry in their local community, something like that. I got my first book there. I'm excited. When I get into the Hilton Resort, right there in the lobby, it's like 3 pastors that I know. All these pastors are well known. And one of them was like, Jeremy, what you doing here? I was like, hey, what's up, man? What's up, Doc? I dap him up. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to be one of the facilitators. He was like, he looked at his 2 colleagues and was like, man, this guy ain't serious about ministry. I said, nah, man, I'm serious. He looked at me and was like, man, he ain't serious. And they kind of laughed. And I'm like, nah, I'm serious. I'm sold out for God. You know what I'm saying? He was like, Jeremy, are you really serious about God? You really serious about ministry? I said, yes, I am. He said, all right, lift up your hands. Close your eyes. And I thought he was about to anoint me, bro. I'm in the lobby with all these people. I close my eyes, bro. I lift up my hands. My man would say, and like mushes my forehead softly, and all the pastors laughed and they walked off. Oh, bro, you talking about hot. You talking about hot, humiliated. All the people in the lobby was like laughing, important. And like I really thought my man was gonna lay hands on me or like pray for me. Like he was a very well-known pastor. And I was hot, bro. Instantly, bro. I'm talking about hot, bro. I went from like loving God to like right back in the streets. And I had my homegirl and my homeboy with me, and they took me out of the lobby. I'm talking about like I was about to spaz on my man. I think I was in shock for probably about 20 seconds. I jumped in the truck, bro. I was punching the steering wheel. I was punching the window like I was so hot, bro. I was in tears.
Hold on, all this is taking place. This is the God-fearing man.
Yeah.
In the car, punching windows, angry.
Hot, bro. Hot, bro. I was hot because I'm like, yo, why would you play me like that? Like, you feel threatened by my ministry? Like, help me understand. So I was just like, yo, I made a covenant with God. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna kill him. Because I was on something stupid.
Wow.
But I was like, yo, I'm about to get this crowbar, I'm about to hit the ski mask, and I'm about to bust my man kneecaps out.
Wow.
Like, that was my compromise with God. Like, I'm not gonna take his life, I'm not a killer, I'm not gonna spill his blood. But like, yo, I'm about to check my man. You want me to humble him, God? Like, that's where my mind was, straight evil, bro. Like, I was literally like, I'm talking about, I was like 1 year out the baptismal pool, but I'm that quickly about to ski mask back up. And so I was about to be like lurking, and God was like, you will not touch a hair on his head. I was hot, bro. That's what had me in tears. I was like, but I want to like, God was like, you will not do it. He's like, son, this is a national prayer conference. Like, I need you serving, I need you covering him. Then when I look at the program booklet, he was one of the main speakers over the weekend.
Wow.
Like on the big stage.
Wow.
And God was like, what you gonna do is you gonna sit in the front row, and I want you to intercede on behalf of him. Bruh. So you feel me?
That's another level of love. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
I'm thinking like, yo, God, like, yo, my man played me. Like, yo, why he even get to speak? His heart ain't pure. He's like, son, neither is yours. God was like, oh yeah, he got some insecurities within his heart. He might feel threatened by your ministry, which is why he would humiliate you and play you in front of all these people. But you obviously got some insecurities. You got some pride in your heart. You actually thought about taking his life. You actually thought about breaking his kneecaps.
Yeah.
You thought about putting him in the wheelchair for the rest of his life because of a few words, because of a gentle mush of the forehead. He was like, so you just as much as wretch as him. He need prayer just as much as you need prayer. So God was like, sit your butt, Negro, in the front row, and I want you interceding on behalf of him. Since it's a prayer conference, you thought you came here to teach a lesson on leadership and evangelism, but I'm here to teach you a lesson on love and forgiveness. I'm gonna show you how to love the hell out of him. And so then it's levels to it, right? So then I was like, all right, God, so I'm gonna be in the front row and I'm gonna pray for him, bro. I'm sitting there praying. That was probably one of the hardest prayers I ever prayed, right? Because I'm sitting here thinking like, bro, I'm thinking about it, like, bro, your sermon whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hot. I was like, bro, you on some fake stuff. You just played me in front of all these people. You don't really care about us. You should be glad I came back from the streets. You should be glad I'm out here serving. You should have took me under your wing. But God was
This is the conversation that's going on in your head.
Brain. But God was like, just cover him. Just pray. Like, love the hell out of him. So then when it was all said and done, God bless. He preached his message. A bunch of kids gave their life to God. So I was like, yo, I'm going to talk to him afterwards. And God was like, you will never mention this to him. God said, this wasn't even about him.
Because you still want to kind of put your 2 cents in.
I want to check my man. I want to let my man know, like, yo, that was whack. Don't ever disrespect me like that again.
And you know what's crazy? Even when you say that, that's kind of how we do it. Like, I'm gonna love the hell out of you, but but then we kind of creep back into the scenario. Like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you how I feel about you, and then I'm gonna say, but I love you.
Right.
That ain't even the love right there.
Yeah. And then God told me, like, yo, he's not even mature enough to receive it. He's not even healthy enough to receive it. He's gonna make it seem like, oh, it wasn't that deep. He was like, this is all about you. Where I'm taking you, I need you to be disciplined.
Wow.
What I'm about to do in your life, I need you to be locked in and laser sharp focus. That was hard, bro. That was hard. He was like, this is what it looks like to be a man of God. You thought it was easy? He's like, bro, they spat in my face. They tricked me. They crucified me.
Yeah.
I said, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Yeah.
He's like, welcome to Christianity 101.
Yeah.
Bro, so you talking about love the hell out of them? Like, that's what I think about.
Think about it in that particular moment. Even when you telling the story, it was like God was loving the hell out of you in that moment.
Yeah, facts.
Think about it, because right in that moment, you were being rebellious. Yeah. You were like, nah, you punching the walls. I got the crowbar, I'm ready. He like, I'm about to love on Jeremy in another way he never experienced it. He loved the hell out of you, and in exchange, you love the hell out of this man.
Facts.
It's like a it's a reciprocal thing going on, reciprocating this. Yep. So when that's taking place, that's with another minister. I want to go right into this relationship aspect, because there's people that's watching this, whether they got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and maybe whatever their level of walk in life is with God, and you got the entrepreneur world that we're in, and there's so many things grabbing your attentions and coming at you, and then you have the marriage. So how is that implementing now into your relationship? Because I mean, in marriage that could be difficult sometimes. I know it's moments where you probably like, man, I love you, but right now your behavior might be a little hellish right now.
Man, so what I'm about to share, bro, like this is like this high level what I'm about to share.
Share with us, man. Because the people need to hear this, man.
Everybody listening and watching.
Because sometimes they think this walk.
Nah, it's harder, but it's rewarding.
It's rewarding.
So I'll say this here. So me and my wife now, we've been married for 11 years. Wife's gorgeous, love her. You know, we couldn't be in a better place. But it wasn't always like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a high D, a high I, she a high S, a high C. When you look at the DISC assessment, she's an introvert, I'm an extrovert. Her love language is like service and random gifts, acts of kindness. Mine is physical touch.
Yeah.
And so she was going through some health issues and just some mental health issues, some challenges, depression, anxiety. It was just a lot. And when intimacy was lacking and I was in a weird place, I felt loved and valued outside, but not in my home. And we were just trying to figure out, we were going through marriage counseling and nothing was changing. And man, God told me to go on a fast from my wife. He told me, because in a lot of the most relationships, people look at it like a partnership, which it is.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it comes with rules. I'll do this part if you do this. And you do this and I'll do that. Now, if you don't do this, don't expect me to do that. That's when we go wrong.
Let me say something real quick before you continue, because I want you to continue. Because when I'm talking about love the hell out of them, people, that hell doesn't have to always be on a high 10. So back to your story, because it could be just a hell type of behavior that's creeping in, and now you're in this position right here. Yeah.
And so again, for me, it's like the depression, it's like the discouragement, it's like the defeated mindset. It's like some of that is the hell that's inside people. And so, man, I went on a 9-month fast from my wife.
What do you mean? Like y'all didn't talk? Like what?
Yeah, no, like 9 months, like no sex, no intimacy. Maybe a little kiss, a hug.
Like now, was she in agreement with this, or you just did this?
Yeah, but see, for her, she wasn't tripping because she was already dealing with some stuff.
Okay.
I'm the one that need to be touched and need to be felt and need to be held and need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me be clear, bro. Like,
no,
I'm very like sensual, sexual. Like that's how God.
That's the eros. That erotic love flowing through you right there.
She's deficient in that. That's not really on her scale.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all the love, that's cool. You pay the bills. That's what get her going.
That's the
you know what I'm saying? You got a nice savings account. Like boom, boom, boom. A trip, vacation. Like, but so anyway, so God was just like. Because I was stuck up on that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm washing dishes, I'm vacuuming, I'm doing stuff the average cat ain't doing. You ain't got to work. We blessed. We blowing up. Just show your boy some love. But God was like, she in a weird place. I need you to love the hell out of her. It's some depression. It's some defeat within her. You know what I'm saying? She's got some health issues. Like, I want you to view her as if she was a paraplegic. Would you leave her then? I was like, no, I will take care of her. I will wash her. I will bathe her. He's like, I want you to have that same mindset. I want you to be so focused on what she needs and don't be worried about what you need. Come to me for that. And he began to do a work within me, bro. I didn't know it was going to be 9 months. He was like, just take this journey. I was like, bet. And I just told her every day, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to love on you, what you need. We went through counseling. Everything was strong. And after that 9-month mark, one day I came home. She's like, all right, enough is enough. Meet me upstairs. I was like, praise God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had to love the hell like out of her and out of our marriage because I was dealing with some stuff. Again, God was like, I'm going to use other people and what they might be struggling with and they might be deficient in to show you what you're deficient in. Because I was heavy on, yo, if you do this, I'll do that. Well, since I did this, show me some love. I just vacuumed. I just did the dishes. I just took out the trash. I just brought you this. We took a trip. Like, what you got for me? Like, show me some love. He was like, yo, you deficient in just having that. I want to serve you with expecting nothing in return.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Christ is like, yo, I'm going to show up every single day for y'all. And if you accept me, cool. But if not, I'm still here. I'm still going to give you grace. I'm still going to give you mercy. I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to get up on that tree for you. Hopefully you accept me. But what you do has nothing to do. It's not contingent upon what I do. I'm still going to do my part.
That's another level of love right there. Especially with the story you just broke down. Like, if you don't have that level of love, most men... And most women in that position, but most men would have been like, "Yo, I'm done.
I'm done. Or
I don't love you like that."
Yeah, I'm gonna find a side.
But think about it, Jay. How many times do we, in that story you gave, that depiction of us with God, how many times do we do that with Him? Reject Him. I don't want to do with you because you not doing this for me. But every morning you wake up, He like, I'm still gonna love on you.
Yeah.
You had to do that to your wife.
Yeah, absolutely. Every single day. And then I realized, like, yo, you just going through a process. So I've got to be strong enough, long enough.
Say that again, bro.
Yeah, I've got to be strong enough, long enough for you and us to get that breakthrough. And then 9 months, I realized later when I did the math, because I was journaling and everything.
Yeah.
And I ain't no journaler. I'm an author, but I don't be journaling like my thoughts and feelings. But I did that, and I realized, yo, it's been 9 months, and that was symbolic to us, God birthing something new in our marriage, in our relationship. He was like, can you be strong enough, long enough to let her know you ain't going nowhere? Can you be strong enough, long enough to let her know that your love is conditional? Can you be strong enough, long enough to help her get that physical and mental healing she needs so she can get back in that place? Like, can you be strong enough, long enough? You know what I'm saying? You want to really be like me and really be selfless and really deny yourself and really deny the flesh? Like, it was a mental, bro. We have to talk about the mental battle later.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure Jeremy didn't want to do it.
No.
Jeremy's love probably was at any just briefly at any point in that time was your love failing, like, you know what, I'm done, and then you had to recharge with God's love. You know what I'm saying? Like, through that whole 9-month process, I'm pretty sure it wasn't like every single day it was like, oh, I'm just skipping through the tulips.
Bro, I was getting up at that time. I was getting up at like 4 a.m. I needed like a good hour and a half with God so we could wrestle. I could fuss. I could pray. You know what I'm saying? And He could just kind of fill up my love tank. Because it's one thing about my who's speaking and encouraging, and women after my speech is like, oh, it's amazing. You move me. They all in my face. And I'm knowing I could be like, hey, what you doing later on? You know what I'm saying? So it's like to reject all of that attention and then not be able to get it at home. It hurt. But God showed me like, yo, she not doing this intentionally. She got some stuff going on.
Yeah.
You barely hanging on. She barely hanging on. Which one of y'all going? She hung in there. Can you hang in here and be strong enough, long enough? Can you love the hell out of y'all situation? And it's like that dark cloud of depression and defeat and discouragement and disarray. It began to slowly decimate from the house and from the relationship, and we just begin to be a builder. We begin to build and get stronger together. And man, we on the other side. I want to years ago.
I want to say this because there's probably a man watching this or a young man watching this, and I really, because you said you kept using words like hearing from God, and I heard God say this, and I heard God say this. Do you believe you hearing from God impacted the way you basically poured out this love onto your wife. Because somebody watching this, it may be, like I said, it may be a man. They like, well, maybe I'm not hearing from God to do that. But I'm saying right now, if you're listening to this, you're hearing from God right now. Like, because that's a key element.
Yeah.
To be able to even hear, to do what you did. Because a lot of times as men, we like, look, man, she acting like that, like you said, homegirl over here showing me that, I'm about to love on her. And then really, that's a false reality.
Absolutely.
Because you get that love and then you still don't feel fulfilled.
Plus, you know, it might fulfill the flesh, but not your heart. Plus, like all my wife, everything we have, bro, you know what I'm saying? We here in our home now.
Yeah.
The love, what we've been able to build, that wouldn't be possible. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for her, you know what I'm saying? The sacrifices that we made together. And so for me, when I looked at our situation, I was kind of like, okay, this is like where we are. So I've got to be willing to make, you know what I'm saying, some adjustments to us to get to the other side. And so it wasn't easy, but when you talk about hearing the voice of God, a lot of people are like, yo, was it auditory? No, it wasn't auditory. Like, people know when you hear that voice, when you apply for an application, and you hear that little voice and say, you know they're not going to hire you. Like, I'm talking about that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But then you hear that voice that says, stop over here and put an application there. Or if you hear that voice that says, you should go and apologize to your kids. That's not us.
Yeah.
We're not naturally good people like that.
Yeah.
When you hear that voice that says, calm down. When you hear that voice that says, don't respond, your wife's having a rough day, respond differently. We choose to quiet that voice, to be like, nah, bump that.
So was there, like, even as you're saying that, was there a battle with pride? Did pride rise up during those 9 months and was like, you know what?
It was a different type of...
Because I know there were other voices outside of God's voice probably like, man, you ain't going to last these 9 months, man. Just give it up.
Well, I never knew it was going to be 9 months. So there was a voice that was like, how long are you going to be able to keep this up?
How long can you keep this love up?
You know what I did, though? The same way when I went from smoking a pack of Newports a day, when I went from smoking 3-4 blunts a day, when I went from waking up to a bottle of Henny, like that same way when I got baptized and I walked away from that lifestyle, I ain't never touched any of that since. The reason why I didn't have to have a Nicorette patch or I didn't have to go to Alcoholics Anonymous or nothing else like that is I took it one day at a time. So you got to be mentally strong. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to love the hell out of people, I had to take it one day at a time and tell myself, okay, today, I'm not going to smoke today. I'm not going to get drunk like today. I'm not going to smoke a cigarette because I know I'm going to be right back to smoking a pack or two a day.
Right.
So with that, I was just like, okay, today there's no porn. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no masturbation. Like I'm not going to be trying to convince my wife or you know, like today I'm going to be celebrating. Today I'm going to keep my mind right. Today I'm going to stay encouraged. Today I'm going to find different ways, new creative ways to love her and serve her. And I'm just going to believe that God going to work a miracle. Straight miracle, bro.
Yeah.
Like when people that know me, like they like, bro, you what? Like what? Like 6-9 months? Miracle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's the power of what God can do. But it was a mental battle. So every day I had to encourage myself. I had to say, okay, that's discouraging. Okay, that's the enemy. Okay, that's encouraging. All right, that's God. He got me.
That's the part I wanted you to get to, that mental battle. Because somebody watching this or listening may be like, oh, love the hell out of them. Oh, they make it sound so grand. They make it sound like it's just easy. Nah, it's a mental battle. It's a training your mind and your heart. Because that's you dealing with your wife. Which I'm not saying is easy. But now we shift back to humanity, and it's like
because you can cut humanity off.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can be like, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. Forget you. I could throw you the finger while I'm and just speed off in my car
and keep it moving.
But then at the same time, God dealing with you after that.
Yeah, but when you got somebody in the car with you that you're struggling with, and you got to go home with that person, and you got to share a bed with that person. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to get to the point where you can say, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And that was hard. But that's probably my biggest feat. Beyond any degrees or any money or any check or any accomplishment, like that probably was today my biggest accomplishment ever.
Wow.
Was getting to those 9 months and not, you know what I'm saying, slipping up and doing nothing else and not making her feel bad about it. I never was like, it's been 3 months. I ain't never do none of that.
That's what's interesting. How was your language? You know what I mean? Because I hear you talking about your mindset. Like, how was the language? Like, because that had to be difficult as well. Like how would your response and the type of conversations you were having? You know, because you probably were just like, all right, mentally I'm strong enough. I'm gonna love the hell out of her. But I'm pretty sure there was moments where you had to speak certain words. You had to say, you know what I mean? Your language has to change.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
Because
it could go from good morning. Or was it still that good morning, babe? You know what I mean? Because
it might not have been.
Mentally we strong.
Good morning, babe.
Nah, I like that, but you know what I'm saying.
You're too sexy with it.
Nah, yeah, you know.
So for me, it was the first month. I was really trying to be like, hey, you good? You good? I bet. But I was trying to keep my back. And God was like, yo, don't do that. She needs a hug.
That's what I'm saying. She
needs that kiss. Now, it wasn't a long, drawn-out kiss you see in movies, but
right.
That, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hug you. You good? You need anything? Like, it was like that. Because I had to because at first I was like, hold on now, you mess around and touch me, it's going down.
Yeah.
But God was like, come on, I need you to be mentally stronger than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't even about you, bro. Like, you fighting for your marriage. Because I'm wondering, like, man, I be seeing all these great giants in the church and in corporate America that's doing great, but then they end up falling in infidelity. They end up all this dumb stuff, and I'm realizing, like, man, that discipline. The reason why some people fail to love, it's a spiritual component, but then they are not disciplined enough with their actions. I realized something, bro. The most successful people in the world aren't the most gifted. They're not the most talented or the smartest. They're those who are the most disciplined. So he was like, I have so many things in store for you and Tracy, but can you be strong enough, long enough? Can you be disciplined to say, you know what, I'm going to control my thoughts. I'm going to control my mind. I'm going to control my behavior. And I'm going to control the narrative in this home. This will be a home of love. This will be a home of affirmation. This will be a home where hell cannot reside.
Wow. I want to connect that discipline with that, and we could. Because when you said discipline, I had an image of Christ in my head, you know, and everybody, and I understand everybody that's watching this or listening may not believe it, but the depiction and the principle still applies. This discipline that he has as he's going to the cross. You know what I mean? The Garden of Gethsemane, he's like, yo, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. That was another level of discipline where it required the love of God to work through him, because here's the thing. I see Jeremy down the line. I see Jamel down the line. I see such and such down the line, and the love that I have, I got to go here. It was the love that drew him there. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about that discipline of God's love will draw you to a point where you like, you know what? I'm going to love the hell out of you. I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm going to keep going to this neighborhood. I'm going to keep going to this school. Even though these kids, every time I come here, they ain't even listening to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's heavy, man.
That discipline you had was connected to your lineage, to your legacy. It flows down now to your children.
Yeah. That discipline was probably, and that's areas in which I'm constantly working on now. Somebody cut me off in traffic. I be hot. I be smooth with it, because I might cut somebody off. But when they give me the finger, when you acting real tough, that I don't know why, but the first thing my brain go do, if we was in the elevator, you'd be clutching your purse.
Wow.
But now that you in your car, you tough. You want to cuss me out and honk your horn. If we was in the elevator together, you'd be then I have to be like, man, why did they even go there? Like, I'm sick, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did I instantly go there? And so now I gotta be this with my thoughts. So now when they honking their horn, do it, man. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me pray for you. Because you're having a rough day. Maybe I swerved on you. Maybe I ain't do nothing, right? I ain't the best driver. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had no accident, by the grace of God. But I'm like, let me just cover you in prayer, because you having a bad day. But back in the day, that thing used to jump on me. If I go to a store and you giving me poor customer service, you got attitude, I'd be like, man, I'm a child of God. I ain't got to deal with that. But now I'm like, no. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. So now I'm being more disciplined and more intentional to say, all right, what can I do in these next 60 seconds, these next 2 minutes? What can I do to impact them, to put a smile on their face? Because somebody before them probably pissed them off, and now they mad at me. And as opposed to me taking offense, like, what can I do to give them an extra love and say, hey, your day gonna get better. I know you pissed. All right. Am I making you more angry? Let me back up. I just want you to know I appreciate your help. Have a good one. People gonna be jerks, but you're amazing and you're valuable, and I appreciate that. And I walk off, and now I'm planting the seed. But I gotta be more disciplined, not to take it personal and be like, why you treating me like this? I ain't did nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna never leave Target. You gonna be here forever with that attitude. And God was like, yo, she's struggling. You know what I'm saying? Are you really as powerful as you think you are? You be snapping on the gram. You be snapping on stage. Can you snap in Kmart? Can you snap in Walmart? Can you speak a word of love in those places? So that's that level of discipline you have me on.
You know what's amazing? When you just said that, this love of God, this love the hell out of them, is not so much for them as it is for us.
Absolutely.
As it is for you.
Sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 60-40, 40-30. Like, you know what I'm saying?
In those moments.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you said, we could be paying the love on social media. It looked good on the gram. It looked good on Facebook and tweets. But now you in the position at Walmart or Target or whatever area in the mall, and you got bumped in the mall, and they almost knocked your son out your hand. And right then and there, right? Yeah. I felt, I know you did. And they almost knocked your son out your hand, and now you right there in that moment. You ain't on the gram now.
Yeah, that's different. And when you talk about loving the hell out of somebody, you gotta be intentional. Because that's not
disciplined and intentional.
I was trying to like put a fire out with the water hose. Like you gotta be intentional. And so as I'm trying to love the hell out of you, it makes me go to a certain place, and which is naturally loving the hell out of me.
Wow.
And that's that next level. Like that's where we have to get to. That next part.
Man, bro. We can go on and on and on. I'm going to close it right there, man. This is the Value Podcast where valuable people attract people of value. I'm Jamel Jackson, your relationship mechanic. I focus on repairing, evaluating, and giving you the tools you need to maintain healthy relationships. And one of the tools, if anybody was listening, if you were viewing this, one of the tools I just gave you is how to love the hell out of them. And like my man Jeremy said, that being intentional and having that discipline is what's going to take you to that next level and have you value people to another extent. Jeremy, where can these people find you at, man?
Man, everywhere, bro. At one, Jeremy Anderson. It's right there, JEREMYANDERSON at one Jeremy Anderson. My website is jeremyanderson.org.
Yeah, yo, bro, man. I really love you, man.
I love you too, man.
Word is born.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
oh my God, man.
You have a lot of value to my life. Thanks for having me on.
No doubt.
Let's get it.
Peace.